Welcome to another video, guys. Today we're going to be talking about a very important topic a lot of newer players actually ignore, which is important buffs and debuffs in the game. There are so many good buffs and debuffs in the game, but there are a handful that are just essential, and they will be skyrocketing your damage, as well as mitigating so much damage for you if you know when and where to use them. So in this video we're going to go over those buffs, and I'm going to show you straight into the game how important those buffs are going to be and how much they could be helping you in all sorts of different places like Arena, Clan Boss, and all kinds of PvE content. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do, a like and subscribe would really help. And don't forget you can also check me out live on stream, where I do my best to help each and every one of you for free with your accounts, be it clean your gear, build you new champions, figure out teams for all sorts of PvE content like Clan Boss, Dragon, Spider, all of that stuff. So if you're having issues with your account, I would be more than happy to help you, but all I ask in return is a simple like and a subscribe. Now let's get into it. Also, if you still haven't started Raid, or you're planning on starting a new account, there's no better way to do it than using my download link. That is gonna get you the great legendary champion Corrado as soon as you finish the tutorial, as well as the top tier epic Ugo as soon as you reach level 15. And from this video you're gonna learn how important Ugo actually is. You can also use one of the amazing promo codes, Raid Offers, so you can get your hands on some great legendary champions as soon as you start the game in your first 24 hours. And you can check out my video from the card right up there so you can make a good educated guess. Okay, enough about that, now let's go for the buffs and debuffs. You guys probably already know, but the most important thing in this game is basically speed. The faster you are, the more turns you're gonna be getting. That is why you need your speed champions to be very fast. As you can see right now, my Arbiter has 366 speed, which is honestly considered slow for endgame accounts, but I am still in my first 2 years of the game, so you can't really expect all that much. The gear is just not here yet. But everything comes with time. For a newer player account, something like 250 speed would definitely be pretty good, but 300 plus would be ideal. And since this is a video about buffs, we should be talking about the increase speed buff. This buff is gonna be increasing your speed, preferably by 30%, and this is gonna be on top of your entire speed you have in the current level. That means all of your gear, all of your bonuses, your aura, all of that stuff, as soon as you use the plus 30 speed, that is gonna increase it by 30%. So let's say if you have 200 speed champion and you cast the increased speed buff, that is gonna make it into a 260 speed champion, which is a lot of speed out of nowhere. This is why it's super important to have increased speed, especially on battles which are gonna be lasting long, like Clan Boss, Hydra, Chimera, all of that stuff. That is why increased speed is so good, because it gives you so many extra uses of your skills throughout that entire battle. So increased speed definitely is one of the most essential buffs you could be having on your team if you want to do a lot more damage and a lot more healing and everything in between. Its counterpart, decreased speed, is just as important, because that basically is the same thing but for the opponent. If you're using this in PvP, if the opponent against you has 200 speed, you're gonna slash that down to 140. So you can imagine if your champions are 260 and the opponent is 140, you're basically gonna be taking almost 2 turns by the time the opponent takes 1. So basically they are probably never gonna get a turn, because if your champions deal their damage twice, well, their champions are probably dead. The other super essential basic buff we could be talking about here would be increased defense, and its counterpart, decreased defense. Increased defense, basically, again, a lot like speed, increases your defense by 60% on your total defense in that area. That includes all of your items, all of your bonuses, all of everything, and you get plus 60% on top of that, which is absolutely huge. This basically means that your champions are gonna be like brick walls if they have decent amounts of defense to begin with, and if you're actually a defense-based nuker, that is gonna increase your damage a lot. I guess same can be said with attack, but let's concentrate on their counterparts here instead. The decreased defense, again, is gonna be slashing the defense of the opponent by 60% of their total defense, so that is absolutely broken, and is gonna increase your damage so much more, and you're basically gonna be cutting through the opponents like a hot knife through butter. While we're on the topic, decreased attack is also a pretty nice little debuff to be having, because this way, if you have increased defense and they have decreased attack, well, basically they're just gonna tickle your pickle instead of actually kicking in your teeth. So that is definitely pretty good. But since this video is oriented more towards the buffs and debuffs that are gonna increase your damage by a lot, let's talk about the other very essential debuff here, which would be weaken. And this is not a very easy debuff to be finding in your first few weeks of the game, but with my download link, link, as I said, you will be getting yourself the champion Corrado, and he does indeed bring the debuff Weaken. Now if I can only find it, and here it is. What does Weaken do? It increases damage received by the target by 25% if you're using the big Weaken, which Corrado has. And this way, basically, everything the opponent is going to be taking, he's going to be taking it by 25% more. If the opponent is going to be taking 100k damage from you, he's going to be taking 125. If he's going to be taking 1 million, 1,250,000, and so on and so forth. And this, by the way, includes all sources of damage, including poisons, burns, magic spells, physical attacks, all of that increased by 25%. So if you combine this plus drop defense, it becomes very broken very quickly. And just for the sake of this guide being complete, the counterpart of Weaken would be Strengthen, which basically reduces the damage your champions are going to be taking by 25% as well. Here we go, reduces the value of the received damage by 25% on the big thing. So again, if you have increased defense and Strengthen, the opponent has drop defense and drop attack, well, your champions are just not dying very quickly now, are they? So if you have Strengthen on your team, that would increase the turns you're going to be taking on clan boss by a lot. That is going to make your champions very tanky against PvP, all of that good stuff with this good buff. And I guess if we're going to be talking about increasing your damage, we could also mention Hex here, which is a little bit of a next level debuff, and you shouldn't be really having it too early in the game. But Hex is definitely one more thing you might want to actually concentrate on if you manage to get it, because it increases the damage by a lot. Here we can see champions under Hex debuff take damage whenever their allies do. The damage from Hex debuffs ignores champions defense. The original targets all take full damage. Champions under Hex debuff take 2% of AoE damage inflicted on their allies, and 10% of single target damage inflicted on their allies. But also, champions under Hex debuffs only take extra damage from direct attacks on their allies, not lasting effects like buffs or debuffs. For example, damage from poison, HP burn, bomb debuffs, reflect damage, and that kind of stuff. That does not count. So these are all the buffs and debuffs I want to concentrate on here, because I don't want to make this into a too in-depth guide. We're basically talking about the essentials you really want to be having on your team if you want to be maximizing your odds of success. And now I want to actually show you the difference between dealing damage with or without those essential debuffs. Let me go ahead in the Chimera, because that is going to be a good example, or maybe in Hydra as well. Let me just collect all my clan rewards before I burn a key. Let's see if some yellow sparks joy for us today. Sadly, just a couple of blues, but still nothing to scoff at. Nothing too amazing here as well so far. A third blue. Well, it is what it is. Sometimes it low rolls, other days it gives us free sacred, so who are we to disagree? Then again, that is gonna be once in a full moon now, isn't it? And even that's a stretch. But yeah, let me just do a quick little battle here. Let me bring back my original team. Nowadays, I basically just brute force clan boss. I don't have to think too much about it. There we have it, good enough. One key, ain't no problem with that. So let's go to the Chimera. Let me collect. I actually did tackle Ultra Nightmare for the first time ever. Almost managed to do the max chest, but I was a wee bit short in the end. Okay, some good rewards, a little bit of the legendary stuff. Only one out of these, kind of sucky, but it is what it is. Okay, 3 legendaries this time, but again, only 1 Empress. That's about it. Okay, so let me show you what the difference in damage is going to be here with and without drop defense and weaken. Let's use this team right here, and let me show you what's gonna happen here. Lydia is such an amazing champion because she actually does all of these essential buffs and debuffs in a single skill. She's gonna drop defense, drop the weaken, and she's also gonna put strengthen and increase speed on our champions. So this is just a single spell, and it's giving 4 amazing buffs and debuffs for us. Here we're actually gonna do the drop speed as well. We don't need to be doing much here, but this is supposed to drop attack if it lands. Decided not to. And now, look at all of the damage our Marius is going to be dealing, thanks to the drop defense and weaken. He also has increased defense himself, and he is a defense-based nuker, so look at all of this damage now. 800, 700, 600... And that is all thanks to the drop defense and weaken. Let me do a free reroll here and just show you the big difference we're going to be having if we don't have those essential buffs and debuffs. And let me not do any of the buffs here, actually. Let me just A1 until we reach Marius. Okay, and look at this now. Same skill, no buffs, no increased defense, no drop defense, no weaken. We did land the drop attack, but that doesn't matter here. And we had 6, 7, and 800 damage on the A2. What do we have now? 350, 260, 250. Literally the damage is more than slashed in half, guys. Literally slashed in half. Let's show it now with the increased defense instead. Again, we're just gonna A1 through it. We're gonna give Marius another turn, and we are gonna increase our defense ourselves. And now it's only with an increased defense. Let's see what the damage is now. 350, 500, 250. Again, kind of slashed in half. Despite the increased damage, let's face it, Marius deals the majority of the damage thanks to his max HP, not so much thanks to his defense, but definitely we are seeing quite the significant drop in damage just because we don't have those essential debuffs on the Chimera right now. Let's go with a free regroup here, and we can show this same thing in Hydra, I guess. But here we can also include Hex, so we can show exactly what's happening here. Let me whip up a nice little team real quick, nothing too fancy. Okay, let's put Marius. We can put this bad boy for extra damage, why not? Lydia again for the good buffs. We're gonna put Nargogante Archer for the Hex. And the rest are honestly kind of whatever, it doesn't matter what they are, the rest of them. We're just gonna fit him in here for the sake of this being a full team. Let's just slap in a Reviver so this pretends to be an actual team for us. And let's see, again, the difference in damage. This time I'm also gonna be showing you how Hex increases the damage for us. First, we're just gonna show the drop defense plus weaken combo. Well, let's just show that full extent. Let's put the Hex here, very essential debuff. It did not even land on everybody here, sadly, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead, drop defense and weaken. This one did not get weakened, sadly. And the rest is honestly kind of whatever here. We're just gonna do this for the extra damage thanks to the Feral set on Feral here, but let's see the damage. We're sitting at 367. Let's see what the damage do. 5 million, basically. 5 million. Insane. Let's see what Wallmaster of Orion does himself. 3.5 million more. Ain't nothing wrong with that is what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's do a quick little free regroup and show you what is gonna happen if we do not have all of those essential debuffs. Let's just go nice and quick here. But no debuffs this time. Come on, Archer, stop shining. I'm still gonna put the debuffs from this guy just for the sake of everything else being the same. Marius does have the increased defense, but without drop defense and without the weaken, look at what's happening. We're sitting at 128. What's the damage now? 400. So 1 less million, basically. Honestly, I was expecting even less. I'm not gonna pretend for a second I was expecting this to be this high still. But still, 1 million less ain't no joke. What does Euphorion do? Only 2 million, so 33% less damage that time. This was without Hex, this was without drop defense, without weaken. So yeah, you can basically skyrocket your damage thanks to these essential debuffs on your team. It is just so much better, so much better. Let's get out of here. We saw what we needed to see. And yeah, like I said, if you use my download link, this is gonna net you champions I don't even have. I don't have Corrado, but Corrado is great for single target drop weaken. And that would be amazing for you in single target pieces of content like against Dragon, against Spider, that kind of stuff. Here it is. On his A1, he's attacking 3 times. Each hit has 20%, books up to 30%. Chance of placing 25% weaken, which is the big version. Very nice. So this would be an amazing champion for your new account because weaken is actually not that easy to get once you start a new account. Not that many early game champions are going to be providing that for you. And honestly, kind of same could be said for the big drop defense on Ugo. Here she is. She does that on a free turn cooldown once you book it. 100% of the time. Big decreased defense. Absolutely huge, not gonna lie. So having these 2 essential debuffs on your team, very, very big. Like, irreplaceable. If your damage is lacking, remove one of the nukers. I know a lot of players love doing that, slapping 5 nukers and going ham. Remove one of those nukers so you can actually have support in the form of debuffers with drop defense and weaken, and see how your damage is gonna increase tenfold. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I hope this really opens your eyes to the potential good debuffs and buffs are gonna be bringing to the table for you. And yeah, having all of these good buffs and debuffs on your clan boss team, on your Hydra team if you're in that stage of the game, heck, even against Dragon, is just gonna skyrocket your speed so much more. Like, you're gonna be dealing so much damage quicker, it's gonna really help. Hope you find the video helpful, and if you did, I would really appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to download Raid from my download link if you still haven't. Thanks for watching, I'm Crystal5, and I'll see you in my next video or stream.